So welcome to the presentation of work on the project Silk Now on the topic of multilingual big data text analytics, and we are developing a system. And the idea is to support development of an intelligent system for understanding of Silk heritage. So what do we do with the text analytics here? It is based on Multilingual Thesaurus, ontology, and also multilingual semantic annotation of texts from the museums. And with text analytics methods, we provide prediction of metadata. We do information extraction from the textual fields of the museums, and we also support rich visualization and semantic search. So for historical Silk multilingual thesaurus, it was developed by the domain experts of the project in collaboration with semantic technologies and also data analytics experts. And it is based on specialized dictionaries and books, and also general dictionary and existing Getty thesaurus. Initially, development was in Spanish, containing about 500 terms, and then it was translated to English, French, and Italian. And of course, the thesaurus is also open for extensions. If there are new terms that come in, we are going to add them, and also if we want to add more details in the current descriptions. After development, or even through the process of development of the thesaurus, we have tested it to see how well it fits and covers the terms from the museums which are online. And for the two museums that we tested, we figured out that about 60% of the thesaurus terms are used on these museums. So our assumption is that some of the other terms are going to be used on some other museums. But this was just to give us an idea what is in there and how well it fits. And here you can see the most frequent terms like seda, carcola, calada, and so on, which occur in the museums and are in the thesaurus. And the other thing we also tested was to look at the museum pages and figure out if there are some terms which occur there and they are not captured in the thesaurus. So that was to help the domain expert to see how good is the coverage of the thesaurus. So this is a screenshot of the thesaurus of the system. So every term which is in the thesaurus has its unique ID, it has synonyms listed, it has textual definition, broader concepts, related concepts, bibliographic sources, so we know how it was developed. So let's see if we look at Satin in English. These are the narrower concepts we get, related concepts, and there is in alphabet all the other concepts connected. For the text analysis, which we performed, on the textual content of the museums, we also looked to calculate what are the representative words and phrases which are used in the museums. And this was also to support the domain experts in developing the mappings of the museum pages to the thesaurus. For multilingual annotation, which we performed on the museum's text, it is based on using Silk Now Wikifier service, which we have developed during the project. And we are annotating the text using concepts from Wikipedia and also specific concepts from the Silk Now thesaurus. For information extraction, we took textual descriptions on the museum pages and used machine learning for two purposes. One is to guide the domain experts in annotating this text, and the other one is then, based on the annotated data, build machine learning models which then help to predict the values. And for inferring missing properties of Silk objects in the museums, we also used machine learning to build the models to predict semantic variables. So if we look at the annotation, multilingual annotation of texts, here is an example of the screenshot. So you can see the text from the museum, and there are some terms which are in there, like Dionysus, Egypt, wine, weaving. But there are also other terms in this text which wouldn't be captured with Wikipedia terms. And these are these extensions that we did. And here you can see them, like weft, twist, warp, and ground. So using our system, we actually capture some of these terms which are otherwise not in Wikipedia. So let's see for the, if I manage to, it's there. To get the screenshot, I don't manage. Okay, so what we can do is load some sample. For instance, I can load some English sample, send it through the Wikipedia system. This is now online, going live, annotating this text. And you can see with the Wikipedia concepts, these are the silk, linen, pleat, embroider, and so on, the terms that the system found and annotated in the text. But then we have these additional fields which are found because we have included domain-specific terms, which in our case are from silk now thesaurus. And these are like linen, floss, satin, stripped, and so on. So that's it for the Wikifier. So now we will look at the next area, which is information extraction from textual descriptions from the museum. So what is the idea here? Museums have their objects, and this is a screenshot from the museum showing what is happening there. There is some image, and there are some metadata, like place of origin, date, material, technique, these kind of things. But there is also a textual field. In this case, it's physical descriptions. So in this textual field, there is some more information which otherwise is not in the metadata. For instance, here are colors. It says something about that strip of woven silk had the gold and silver thread, dark and light green and orange, and so on. So what we want to do with text analytics here is to capture these colors connected to this artifact from the museum. So this is how we did it. We developed a system with the active learning, which actually helps first domain expert to do the annotation. So we will now see how it works.